folks, it's me, Reno from Snowworks Crochet, and in today's video, I'm going to be working on my whips. I'm working on my whips, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to finish my whips because I don't know if I'll finish my whips. I just know that last week I had to go on a work trip, and then right after I got back from my work trip, I participated in the Pittsburgh 4-mile fitness challenge run, where you run 4 miles and then do 6 exercises while running. And while that wasn't necessarily like difficult, I'm like kind of drained. And then I had to go to work. I'm just like emotionally drained from like all of that. And I think right now would be a great time to just take it easy, take it chill, and work on my whips that I have. I don't necessarily want to show off, be like, oh, this is like my whip, this is this, but I do want to just work on them and kind of film little updates here and there on what I have going on. So yeah, this is gonna be more of a chill video. Nothing too intense, nothing too like crazy or anything, just me casually working on some whips. Now obviously I can explain what each of my whips are. I'm trying to limit how many projects I start, but I sometimes get the itch to start a project. But I'm trying to kind of minimize that right now. I'm gonna work on some of my whips, not all of my whips. There's not even a guarantee that I'll even finish a whip in this video, but I don't know, I'm just taking a more low-key approach to just finishing whips. Starting with this baby right here. I am making a colorwork cowl from one of those doodle card decks. Some of this is scrap yarn, but some of this is like fingering weight sock yarn or mini skeins that I've bought. But I have basically been knitting up this cowl, and it's super cute. And I kind of have like a little bit of a kind of pattern going on here. Do I have a pattern? I don't know, but I'm kind of making this a little bit random between like some where the background is like a variegated like mini skein, a dark mini skein, like white, which is just white here, and then like I'm switching right now to something variegated using this variegated mini skein I got. And I just wanted to make this as a way to use some of the mini skeins that I've just gotten from random places, and because I don't want to knit socks. Well, okay, I am knitting a sock, but I don't regularly knit socks or shawls, so I wanted to kind of make something that incorporated some of the sock weight yarn I have in my stash, and also use it kind of as an excuse to buy more, but we don't talk about that. I'm starting a new design on this. I just finished this rain boot design, which is, it's a little questionable with the color choices I use, but it's okay, minor details. I also have a bunch of leftover yarn. A lot of my colors actually are leftovers from the Katya Granny baby merino that I have here. I made a granny square cowl with it, and then I just took the remainder of the skeins, separated out all the colors, and then just connected them and wound them up into little balls. So I have like a bunch of these left in different colors. Right now I'm making some broccoli or lettuce. Okay, this looked more like a bok choy to me, but I'm knitting this up in color work. I'll see how far I get, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna work on this now. Now for some other projects I have on my list of things to work on. I also have a knit sock right here. This is the second sock of the pair of socks that I'm working on. I have a video in the planning for this sock, by the way, but that will come out, I don't know when. I definitely know it's been a year in the making because I put it off for so long. But right now, I just feel like working on this colorwork cowl because it's super cute and I don't know, I like it. I realized after making my Art of Knitting Hats video that I really like doing color work in the round specifically, just because it makes me feel like I'm doing something super fancy and technical and cool, and it inflates my ego while also being like way easier and chiller than I anticipate. I actually find it a lot easier than crochet color work, but then again, I haven't tried doing knit color work flat, so I might eat my words if I ever try that. This is like a perpetual whip whenever that I work on whenever I feel like it. I came home today from work and I am very, very tired. I'm like, oh, I want to exercise. I want to like work out and be active, but right now I'm just so drained. Everything is tired. I had a second cup of coffee at work today, and that's like not good for me because I'm gonna be wired when I go to bed. I don't think I've been sleeping well recently. I think it's just because I'm so like mentally exhausted that it's like translating to physical exhaustion, and I'm kind of dreading traveling again. As I'm filming it, it's like the beginning of May, but I'm traveling at the end of May, and I'm traveling for fun at least at the end of May, but traveling is just so exhausting and just super stressful on the body that I just don't like doing it. I travel a lot for work, so it's kind of what I've been up to, and I just want to sleep. You know? Also, as you can see, I have not woven any of my ends. High key, I'm like debating whether I should just tie knots and then not weave them in, because how I'm planning on wearing this cowl is to make a long cowl and then just like kind of seam it up and just do an infinity cowl situation like this, you know? And just like once this is longer, just make it long and then like sew it up like that. So that way I can avoid weaving in ends, because I don't want to. It sounds like something I don't want to do. You know, this is meant to be a chill project, not like stressful. Then I'll have a super cute and quirky cowl that I may never wear because wool messes with my eczema, but minor details.
And that's a lace weight. Some double stranded or figuring weight and lace weight. It's kind of working out like a sport weight sock. It's not, which is important for something like socks. Wearing them all the time, there's a lot of friction walking around.
Hey folks, for the people watching the Working on Whips video, I finished a half hexagon of my wedding top, and I think I made a mistake and I'm gonna have to undo it, but I don't want to think about it right now, so all that work for nothing. Who'da thunk? This entire video is focused on me not wanting to think about anything. I think that's gonna be the trend of this video. I don't want to think about anything. Maybe that'll be the thumbnail. For anyone wondering what this is a baby blanket that I made with scrap yarn. This is actually made as part of my Fate the Dice Saga series, where I roll for colors of scrap yarn. So I made the first episode, which is all these granny squares, which is episode 3, and then I tried to do like 3.5 and then just gave up. But I wanted to at least finish the blanket so that way I can finish it and also throw it into my donation box. I still need to weave in these ends, but hopefully I can at least finish this blanket in this video. I would like to at least have one whip finished in this video, maybe 2. I don't know how long I
plan to film this video or how long to even make this video, but I don't know, I just need to finish some whips, man. I definitely have a lot more whips, and if you are interested in potentially seeing more of my finishing whips videos, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I do have a decent amount of them, and the reason why I have so many whips is because I have that ADHD brain where I like to start things and then I get bored of it and then I never finish anything. So I have a lot of unfinished whips because I just like to keep starting things. Again, more recently, I haven't started as many new projects as I would in the past, just because I made an internal goal to not like start so many projects, or I guess for lack of better words, to be more intentional about my projects. That's the word I used for it. I have a couple of items this year that I'm like very focused on, like my wedding top, for example. I really need to lock in on that. Maybe for the rest of this year, I should just like focus on finishing my projects, or just if I am starting a project, it'll be something more like a long-term project. I think I just have a lot of like fleeting ideas when I started projects, but now I want to be, I guess, again, more intentional about the projects I start, and I want the projects I start to be more longer term projects, if that makes any sense. So off camera, I was kind of working on the scrap granny squares. So I take scrap yarn from basically all of my projects and then turn them into granny squares. And I have a whole collection of scrappy granny squares in this bag, and I'm saving them to just make a scrap granny square blanket. So like I have all sorts of scrap granny squares from all sorts of different projects. So like this one, this one, this one, just like, it's just from like little kind of scraps of yarn that I have left over, and I just use it to make a granny square. If after I finish a project, specifically a project with worsted weight yarn, I will take a little bit of that leftover yarn, not all of the leftover yarn, but a little bit of that leftover yarn, and just use that leftover yarn to make these scrappy granny squares. So the max amount of rows for each granny square is 4. So if there's a lot of that yarn, I do, I guess, row number 4, one row number 3, one row number 2, and like a granny square center, essentially, if I have a lot of the yarn. Sometimes I only have enough yarn for like 1 or 2 rows of something, or only just a center. And if there's not enough yarn for just a center, I end up using that shorter piece of yarn for another scrappy project, which is a scrappy corner to corner scarf. That is what I specifically do with my worsted weight acrylic. I have put in some DK weight acrylic here and there, but I try to keep it to just worsted weight acrylic. Yeah, that's just what I do. This black scrap right here is the leftover from the Persian towels blanket. One of the yarns I used in that Persian towels blanket was the granny square yarn, so I cut up all the individual colors, and I used some of those colors for the Persian towels blanket, but I used the other colors for basically this. And I still have this much left, which I don't think is enough to make a center, so I'm gonna save this for the scrappy scarf. So this is a sock that I have been knitting. It is a whip that took me like, I don't know, 5 million years to do, mainly because I started it and then I threw it into my unfinished whip basket and then never looked at it again until somewhat recently. So this is sock number 2. I kind of did all the hard part on sock number 2 with like the heel flap and the gusset and decreasing everything. So now I'm at the point where I just knit the length of the sock until I get to the toe and start decreasing that. But that's going to be a while from now. Update on the video, I have finished the socks. So that is one whip finished of my decent amount of whips, but
At least I can say I finished one whip in this video. So I realized I got some footage of me knitting a colorwork hat, but I never actually explained what it was. So a lot of local yarn stores will sell a Doodles knit colorwork chart cards and stuff, but they have online versions, and I decided to buy a couple of online versions, including some Halloween ones, because I have a lot of yarn left over from my Sirdar Halloween crochet along blanket. And so this is using the scraps, I guess scrap, right, of the Halloween crochet along. And so I made a hat. It's really cute. Like there's bats. This one's a haunted house, which took forever. And then I have a little layer of ghosties up here. It is kind of like a slouchy fit beanie, all things considered. It's a bit too tall for my liking, personally. I'm not against it. I also had my fiance try this on in hopes that he has a bigger head than me, so maybe it might look different on him. I think his head is more wide than it is tall, so it still was too long on him, but minor details. It's really cute. I'm keeping this for myself because I really like it. Maybe if I make another one, I'll donate it because I just think it's so cool. I love the haunted house design right here. It took me forever to do, and it was kind of difficult, but I absolutely love it. My ends are all woven in too. It's a little bit crazy on the inside, but minor details. That is a finished whip. So theoretically, in this video, I have completed 2 whips, which again, I had like no expectation to finish any of my whips, but I had completed 2 of them. And that's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna end the video here just because I think that's kind of the natural end of this video where I finish a couple of things. Again, the main purpose was mainly for this to be more of like a chill video where I just casually work on some stuff. If you like videos like this, let me know down in the comments. If you don't, also let me know. This was the opportunity for me to kind of turn my brain off and just work on some stuff I had in the background. I have other whips too, but I don't know, finishing those 2 knitting whips was kind of nice. So I think I've been in a knitting mood recently. I haven't been crocheting as much. My interests and hobbies and like what I work on kind of ebb and flow every so often. So that's kind of it. With that, I will see you in the next one. Bye!